Chapter 279. The powerful blow of the divine tree sent the black spider flying far away, its entire body sliding across the ground. The divine tree continued its offensive and unleashed a barrage of elemental orbs. Then, 11 streams of spiritual energy from various elements struck directly at the enemy. It seemed that the black spider had tried to evade, so the divine tree scattered its elemental spiritual energy everywhere. This move clearly struck one of the black spider's weaknesses. The man in purple looked at the scene of destruction in dismay. Shortly afterward, the divine tree's claws grabbed the tattered body of the black spider, and the impact shattered the ground beneath it. Suddenly, the claws of the divine tree transformed into massive, purplish arms, forcefully seizing the diamond-like pincers of the enemy. The grip was so strong that the pincers were immediately crushed. It turned out that the divine tree had morphed into its dominant combat form, with terrifying close combat capabilities. The black spider was now nothing more than prey on a dining table. When the pincers were torn out, the pain made the black spider roar in agony. However, it didn't know that the torture had only just begun. Steel-hard roots coiled around its body. The black spider, panicking, shouted loudly. "What do you want to do?" The divine tree, with a dry voice, said. "The way you treated my subordinates and the white monkey is the same way I will treat you." With that, roots tore through space and lunged forward. They pierced dozens of holes into the black spider's body, tearing it apart like paper, with fresh blood and flesh splattering everywhere. The overwhelming pain interrupted the black spider's screams, and its eyes were on the verge of bursting. After that, the black spider was left completely incapable of fighting, its body ruined, and it had lost all its legs. The divine tree lifted it up, and brought it to its face. Then, with one hand, it gripped tightly onto the black spider's face. At this point, the divine tree interrogated it, asking, "Is that giant red eye connected to you? What is your purpose in declaring war against me?" Even though the black spider was on the brink of death, it maintained its regal demeanor, laughing loudly and saying, "It seems like you and the Emperor have already met, haven't you?" The divine tree, furious at this attitude, shook its roots violently. Then it slammed the black spider down to the ground, causing a terrifying shock to its internal organs and brain. With its last breath, the black spider said, "You killed Gyujit. He was the Emperor's pawn left on this planet. The Emperor is now very angry. He's currently coming here from another part of the universe and will soon arrive to kill you." The black spider laughed loudly once more and declared, "Tremble in fear, for you will soon cease to exist forever." The divine tree had heard enough. A stream of blazing spiritual energy shot out from its mouth. Instantly it burned the black spider with the heat of the sun, and it let out one final scream. Afterward, only a long scar remained on the ground, with the scorching spiritual energy not yet cooled. Having dealt with the enemy, the divine tree turned to the man in purple and asked, "Is the Emperor mentioned by him the same threat you spoke to me about before?" "Oh, protector of humankind, answer me," the man in purple then confirmed. "Yes, that's right." The divine tree then asked, "Who is Gyujit?" The man in purple answered, "He is the Dark King." The divine tree was taken aback by this answer. The man in purple understood that there were still many hidden truths and declared that she would explain everything to the divine tree once they left this place. At this moment, something caught the divine tree's attention. It was a massive blue crystal emerging from the black spider's corpse. "How could something like this come out of its body?" the man in purple then said. "That's a core crystal. It's a high-level core where the gathered energy of a planet exists. If it evolves, it will become the heart of the world, capable of nurturing the life of an entire planet. Perhaps it relied on the energy of the core crystal to reach this planet." After hearing this, the divine tree immediately picked it up, thinking to itself that it didn't expect to harvest something of such caliber. At this moment, the divine tree let go of the man in purple, and she added that the core crystal not only contained immense power but was also the central material for creating magical formations. It seemed that the divine tree's luck was indeed extraordinary. The divine tree declared that it would confiscate this item and that there was no more business left for them here. The wood dragon reappeared, and the divine tree began its journey back. At Misty Mountain, many injured and dead mythical beasts were being preserved in root cages and enveloped by the divine tree's life energy. The most tragic of all was the white monkey, with only part of its body remaining, and its life as fragile as a candle in the wind. The golden monkey with a royal heart silently observed from below. Behind him were his two close friends, all waiting for everyone to recover. The honey badger, worried, said that the golden monkey had been sitting there for too long. The golden monkey, with a cold expression, just stared at the white monkey, remembering the time when his comrade was brutally beaten. The white monkey couldn't contain his inner turmoil, his heart filled with unspoken thoughts. Suddenly, noisy footsteps came from behind. It was their master, the divine tree, who had returned. The divine tree then threw something onto the ground. It was the head of the enemy behind all this. The divine tree then proudly declared, "I have avenged the White Monkey clan." Chapter 280. The divine tree and the golden monkey silently observed their comrades being treated inside the healing cages. The divine tree seemed to understand the golden monkey's thoughts, and said that it was not the golden monkey's fault that the white monkey got injured. Protecting one's tribe is the duty of every king. The divine tree raised the king's stone and said that before the king passed away, he had entrusted this king's stone to him, and now the mark on it was becoming fainter and fainter. This is the king's seal that the divine tree bestows upon a worthy individual of each race, serving as proof that they are the strongest. The golden monkey looked deeply at the stone, his face filled with sorrow as he spoke. "In my current state, I truly don't deserve this stone." The honey badger and wild boar could only watch in concern. They had never seen their friend look so despondent before. The golden monkey then stepped forward. He moved closer to the enemy's head in front of him. Using his own head, he rammed it fiercely against the object. The divine tree did not stop him, merely watched silently. Fresh blood dripped onto the ground. The golden monkey had but a fifth-order beast. Clearly, flesh couldn't be tougher, yet he coldly declared, "I will become strong enough to be the mightiest king." With an icy demeanor, he then turned around. He walked straight into the space the divine tree had opened. This training journey would mark a turning point in his life. The divine tree watched quietly, knowing that the carefree and joyful golden monkey of the past had now awakened the beast within. In fact, the divine tree was the most reluctant. The white monkey was an extremely rare top-tier talent. This loss was incomparable, but through this, the golden monkey and many others would mature. The divine tree then found a high place to sit. Now, the divine tree would speak with the person in purple, telling them that it was time to reveal everything. But the response was simply a calm, "I don't know anything." The divine tree immediately waved dozens of branches, gathering spiritual energy. It declared that if the girl didn't tell the truth, the divine tree would truly kill her. After all, she knew their names, so how could she not know what was going on? Faced with dozens of deadly glowing spots, the person in purple remained calm, stating that they simply knew prophecy techniques and could glimpse a bit of the future. Overall, compared to what the divine tree knew now, it wasn't much more. Hearing this, the divine tree realized that she wasn't alone and asked, "What do you mean by we? What is your true identity?" Suddenly, a male figure appeared beside the person in purple. The soul stated that he was dead and now merely a soul inhabiting this girl's body. The person in purple continued, saying that they currently didn't know why the Emperor wanted to attack this place, but with the current combat strength of Earth, only Misty Mountain was of some use. However, once war breaks out, they wouldn't be able to win either. "We need to recruit more people." The divine tree's face darkened and it said that it was difficult to gather a powerful army on Earth within a year. "We can only look for reinforcements from other planets." The person in purple thought for a moment, and said that with the divine tree's current abilities, it shouldn't be too difficult. The divine tree then became suspicious and said sternly, "If I believe what you say, I still know nothing about you. Are you my ally, or my enemy?" The person in purple replied, "I'm no one's enemy, and I'm no one's ally. If you don't trust me, then at most, you can have a battle with me right here. But before that, the Emperor's army will not stop advancing." Fine, this girl was clearly not weak, and the divine tree didn't want to fight senselessly like this, so it asked what kind of future she had seen. The girl in purple searched her mind. It was a terrifying scene, Earth being split in two by an apocalyptic light. The divine tree fell silent, knowing that such power could only come from the giant eye and no one else. The girl then waved her hand, and a glowing orb appeared. She said, "Remember this well. We only have 1 year left. Do what needs to be done." From the small orb, a massive crack split open the space. Before leaving, she added that she might come looking for the divine tree again. The divine tree remained silent, either stopping her nor asking any further questions. Now, the name that haunted him the most was Emperor, an unknown being who suddenly wanted to destroy this planet. At this moment on the moon, the divine trees would drag and tore through space and arrived. Laurel saw this and immediately called out to the master. "The master has finally returned!" But today, the master seemed to be in a hurry, looking rather unhappy, which puzzled Laurel. What could have happened to make the master appear so flustered and rushed? At the fortress established by Qing Chang, since the moon base was built, all the scientists from Misty Mountain had gathered on the moon. This place was under Yule's control. After all, he had expertise in this area and over a decade of experience operating the flying fortress. Yule nodded to signal the scientists on the other side. They immediately began activating the machine. Surrounding Yule was a circle full of machinery, which started extracting streams of blue energy from his body. Afterward, Yule turned around as if he had just loaded the first bullet. Streams of stray energy lingered in the space. Then, a terrifying burst of spiritual energy shot out from the machine. The one controlling this shot was none other than Yule. After the shot, Yule's entire body was steaming. In front of him, a swirling energy circle was slowly forming. What were they experimenting with? End of chapter 280.